All right, guys, it looks like there's a new game on the horizon coming up that we're just going to completely bury and trash by the name of Avowed. This is an upcoming fantasy first person RPG by Xbox. And guess what? It has fucking pronouns in it, and people are calling it out. Now, we're going to do a twofer in this video because a lot of news came out quickly about this in regards to them potentially hiding this. So we're looking at an article from Fandom Pulse that's talking about the game, but then we're also going to go to Smash JT's website and look at a article that he wrote where a YouTuber that got to play this game early access talks about how they've been caught trying to hide this pronouns feature in the game. So pronouns have been a pretty hot topic of debate recently with all the DEI and all that bullcrap. You know, Starfield that caused a big commotion. And then on top of the Dragon Quest HD remake with body type A, body type B. I think, fucking Veilguard had all the issues with that. It's just been a mess, right? No longer do we have male, female. You got to have your preferred fucking pronouns because they try to normalize this fucking modern audience bull crap. Now, before the wokies come in and go, well, everybody has pronouns. Yeah, everybody has pronouns, but not everybody has preferred pronouns. I don't have to sit here and pretend that you're something that you're not. If you're a boy, you're a boy. If you're a girl, you're a girl. Don't you guys remember Kindergarten Cop? Boys have penises. Girls have vaginas. It's fucking simple. It's science. The same people that are telling us to take COVID vaccines are the ones that say we have to listen to science, right? Except, I guess, when it comes to your pronouns. Anyways, Disavowed. This is a Obsidian entertainment game that Xbox Game Studios are going to be publishing. And it says the inclusion of pronouns into the game were discovered after YouTuber Force Gaming shared an early review of the game after he was allowed to play around 20 hours of the game. So the 20 hours, that's not too bad. During his review, while discussing the leveling system, he showed off some of the game's menus where it clearly identifies his character with he, him pronouns. So if you look at the screenshot, you see right here, we got the fucking pronouns right there, the he, him. And of course, in these types of games with RPGs, even though it takes place in a fantasy setting, they gotta have modern day politics and social commentary. We can't just have this fantasy setting, right? They gotta fucking bring their bullshit into it. Now, continuing on, this goes on to say the inclusion of pronouns in the game is clearly an attempt to normalize gender ideology, which wants to erase the distinction between men and women, males and females, right? And of course, you get into the whole, I guess, religious aspect of it that John F. Trent wrote into this article. But I'm going to look at the game right here, which in regards to Microsoft, if you guys remember, they're the Xbox Game Studios parent company. They've made it clear that they want to normalize gender ideology through video games, and they released its Gaming for Everyone's product inclusion framework earlier this year. And they have some of these questions for if you're developing games for them with stuff like what steps have you taken to ensure characters are represented respectfully and authentically. Let me drink some water right here. I'm always stuttering over myself when I try to even begin to use my brain to process idiocracy, right? They want to know if you're reinforcing any negative gender stereotypes. All this sensitive bullcrap. Are you unnecessarily introducing gender and gender barriers into your code or design? Like, why does this matter? Just make a good fucking game. Make a game that entertains people, that people want to play, that plays good. Right? Why do you need to know if you're creating playable male characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male peers? Huh? Why do we have to have Mary Sue's in the games? Who cares if they are equal or not? You can write it in, you can make it, but don't just do all this just to be part of this Gaming for Everyone product inclusion framework. Like, this is literally like a code that they have to live and die by. You can't just make damsels in distress without being offended by it. Or you know what? Why don't we just have a guy where the woman is strong and the guy's not? Why do they have to be equal? It says, are you female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fits their task? So no more scantily clad like Soul Calibur. When the story allows, do you show male characters who display a full range of emotions, including joy, sadness, and vulnerable I can't. My vulnerable. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Basically, are your males in here not too masculine, guys? Do they have feelings? Do they get sad? Are they weak? Do they show vulnerability? Vulnerability. Anyways, says it also instructs developers to measure inclusion for so-called representation, including using a inclusive content ratio that tracks the proportion of content featuring or catering to underrepresented groups. Why is this all stuff that they worry about instead of just making good games? Can somebody please tell me? Like they're wasting resources, their money. They're hiring people to enforce this crap. Instead of just making good games, they're enforcing this. That's why we got pronouns, right? It says on top of instructing their developers and others to follow this framework and measure inclusion for representation, the company also states has an ongoing partnership with GLAAD to bring more LGBTQIA+ stories to our players. Wow. Now, here's the story from Smash, right? So this mentions the YouTuber, Force Gaming, and during their 20-hour review, not 24-hour, could you imagine playing this bullshit for 24 hours? They said, basically, they showed a character menu where the character was labeled he, him pronouns, and they were told that they didn't let them record the intro to the game. Why? What are they hiding? So this is, while seemingly a minor feature, its inclusion has broader implications as it is part of a larger push to normalize gender ideology within media and entertainment. In his video preview, he says, for whatever reason, they didn't let us record the intro to the game, and subsequently blaming the character creation as some kind of potential spoilers reason. So they're saying, oh, it's spoilers. Don't show the character creator. To me, that sounds like they're hiding something so they don't get backlash for having fucking pronouns in the game, right? The elephant in the room, Smash says, it's because like every game in the fantasy genre pushing this ideology, they know the game would be facing a tremendous amount of backlash and brigade of folks wanting to cancel the game before it even releases. And honestly, at that point, you know that they know what they're doing is not wanted by gamers everywhere, but they still inject it anyway. Right? They know it. Nobody wants this shit. But they will go out of their way to fucking hide it. They're even going out of their way to hide that Sweet Baby's involved with any fucking games going forward. They hid the clients list and the projects, and who knows what consulting companies involved with this. I mean, Microsoft still has their own inclusion framework, which is essentially their own consulting company inside the company. But this is the issue right here, is they're worried about everything but making good games. And I don't know why they're like this. I'm convinced this is some kind of weird drama or PTSD that these people deal with, or they have some kind of stigma against men, right? Going on, this says the inclusion of pronouns in games has never been welcome by the overwhelming majority of gamers. On the surface, developers and the vocal minority always try to paint it as an effort to be inclusive, but it's forced, unnecessary, and completely out of place in fantasy settings, but really has no place in any games. And a game like Avowed, set in a medieval-inspired world of swords and sorcery, the addition of pronouns introduces modern socio-political concepts that directly breaks immersion for players, right? And that's right. That's the fucking problem. I have no clue why they're doing it. It's fucking weird. There's obviously something that the developers are doing that they want to prioritize modern audience inclusivity, political ideologies, like all this fucking shit here, especially when they have a manual right here. They have little fucking graphics here about respectful expression and questions to consider with getting started with representation and armor design and shit like here. Elon Musk had this banger tweet right here about Concord, where Mario says, turns out no one wants to play more woke video games. And he says, yeah. I mean, even him coming out, quote tweeting Grums, who actually mentioned this game, saying, I'm drawing a line. I'm rejecting any game that has pronouns in it. And you grammar Nazis know what I mean. Stop being stupid, because they always try to say, well, everybody has pronouns. No, it's gender fucking pronouns. It's preferred pronoun bullshit. Again, where you're in imagination land. And Elon said having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable. And yeah, I mean, people are honestly fucking tired of woke, to where I'm glad fucking the CEO of fucking Twitter has been calling it out. Look, that woke lies, kill art. Like, honestly, this game is already going to be dead on arrival, especially if they were trying to hide the pronouns in the game, telling people not to show the intro to the game with the created character and the pronouns and stuff like this. Now, the fact that they hid it only made it more worse for them. It only made it more worse for them. So this is slated to come out in February. So now we got a new contender, right? February's going to be great. We got this and Assassin's Creed Shadows with all the woke nonsense. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.